Well, then it is about 7:33, and I will call the on 23rd of November. I'll call the City of Twinsburg Council meeting to order. Shannon, please call the roll.
Mr. Scafidi?
Here.
Mr. Barr? Mr. Bellin?
Here.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Here.
Mrs. Labby?
Here.
Mr. Fury? Mrs. Walker?
Present.
Okay. At this time, we will have the invocation and pledge allegiance led by our Finance Director, Sarah Bucci-Gross. Please rise.
We ask for guidance and direction in all city matters before us tonight. We give thanks to be able to be together. Let us continue to strive to make our community a better place. Help us to work together, and may we give our best always. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next we have the approval of the regular minutes from the November 9th meeting. Does anybody have, can I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the regular council meeting minutes from November 9th as submitted.
Okay, is there a second?
Second. I yield.
Mrs. Levy seconds. Any discussion? Shannon, call the roll.
Mr. Bellin?
Yes.
Mrs. Labby?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes. Okay, next we'll move on to awards and presentations. At this time, tonight, I would like to recognize Mrs. Stoffer for her years of service on council. If you would please join me down here. All right, Maureen. Well, you must have been here a long time. There's a lot of whereas. Whereas. Okay. On behalf of the administration, the employees, and residents of the City of Twinsburg, City Council joins with the family and friends of Maureen Stoffer in offering its sincere appreciation for her 12 years of dedicated service on City Council. And whereas, Maureen Stoffer was first elected to City Council in November of 2009 as the Ward 4 representative and successfully retained the Ward 4 seat when she was reelected in 2013 and 2017. And whereas, over the last 12 years, Maureen has professionally and diligently served the residents of the City of Twinsburg in general and Ward 4 in particular with an honest and even-headed approach to the issues. And whereas, during her tenure on council, Maureen Stoffer has served multiple terms as council president, in addition to serving on every board and commission, including the Architecture Review Board, Planning Commission, Finance Committee, Public Works Committee, Environmental Commission, Twins Day Committee, and the Community Relations Board. And whereas, while on council, Maureen Stoffer was committed to being the voice not only for the residents of her ward, but all of the residents of the City of Twinsburg. And Maureen championed and strengthened the relationship between the city and the schools. And whereas, Maureen spent 33 years educating the youth of Twinsburg as a teacher and the Twinsburg City School District. Her dedication to her students has had a lasting impact for decades. One more whereas. And whereas, Maureen, the Stoffer family includes Maureen and her husband Tim, who's here in the audience, surrounded by their children Michael, Samantha, and Matthew, and 2 grandchildren. City Council's loss of Maureen's time and energy will certainly be their gain. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed by that City Council, on behalf of the administration, friends, associates, all of the past and present public service servants with whom she has served, particularly on behalf of the residents of the City of Twinsburg, do hereby thank Maureen Stoffer for her years of dedicated service and express our continued appreciation and gratitude for her generous contribution of time, energy, and wisdom to the betterment of the City of Twinsburg. In witness thereof, the undersigned members of City Council and Mayor do hereby certify and affirm the foregoing. And then these are promises. from the council meeting, we'll go back there and everybody can congratulate you.
You know how much I like to talk. Well, I wanted to say best award of the first meeting was a joke. I didn't really know anybody was coming tonight. Jim, you couldn't talk. Thank you so much. I can't tell you, I really couldn't have done it without your support. You supported them so much. And I've been really, really glad to be part of this great group. Thank you.
Move on to audience participation.
First, we have Sue Clark.
Sue, thank you.
I'm going to be a rule breaker. Does that surprise you, Sam? Sue Clark, 9845 Crestwood Drive. And if it's okay with you, I'd like to address Mrs. Stauffer by Mrs. Stauffer, not as a council representative. Maureen, these are from you and the ladies back here in our family. Thank you. And for always representing the residents, because we do appreciate that. We may not always see eye to eye, but you've always been kind, gracious, and more than supportive of your role as a council person. And we really do thank you for that. Thank you. You are so welcome. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you.
Thanks, Sue.
Next, Shannon.
Next, we have Bob Hughes. So sweet.
Bob Thews, 2229 Demi Drive in the Meadowwood Inn Plan. I know we're not allowed to mention names of council people up here, and I'm asking for the indulgence that I can speak about Maureen tonight a little bit.
Yes,
okay?
sir, you may.
Okay. I want to tell you a little story. At the election, on this last election, somebody and her husband and friends came in rather late to the election. She was right at 7 o'clock, 7:15. She was still good, okay, but to kind of make it up for a little bit, she brought in donut holes, okay, and hot chocolate. Okay, well, the people in front where she set it down were very nice, okay, and they said, no thank you, no thank you, till it hit me, and I said, you can set that baby right here, okay? And right away she said, Bob Thews, I should have known that, okay? Anyway, I have been, and we briefly discussed my previous discussion at the meeting and how I had roughed everybody up a little bit, and that's my tendency to do here, obviously. But I can tell you something, okay? I'm getting tips now from Bruce Baldwin and he's working on polishing off my rough edges, okay? So from that sense, so he's working with me. He came in and gave me a pep talk, and he's working with me. So tonight, I promise I'm going to make this a positive talk. Maureen, you're truly a class act, okay, from that standpoint. Again, we didn't necessarily agree on everything, but you know, I respected your opinion, and you always acted very respectfully towards me. Sometimes you appeared quiet, when you had an issue that was important, you held to it, okay? And that's all we can ask of anybody on council, okay? You will be missed, okay? And may your replacement be blessed with your skill set, okay, from the standpoint of working with people like me. Thank you very much, and have a great retirement, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Thanks,
Theus.
Bob.
Next, we have Bruce Baldwin.
Listens to me. Well, first of all, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Bruce Baldwin. I mean, take
too,
care of
Mr.
yourself
Baldwin.
and each other, not only for the holidays. It's not a good world. Good thing there's not a lot of people like me out here. You'd be better off. I believe this is the third time I mentioned the lawn not being mowed down at the Blue Top. We have an ordinance against this, but this I shouldn't have to mention it 3 times. It seems to be a problem. I mean, the place, to me, every time I go by, I think of a fire and a fireman being down or something happening to him. I know you're working. You said you're working on getting it tore down, which I know is not your problem. It's a problem, but I just look at that building, I start thinking somebody's going to get hurt there sooner or later, you know. And anyway, I want to thank Mr. Scafidi for bringing this year rubbish collection to light. Also, Mr. Fury, Mrs. Walker, thank you so much. I've known the 13 years, and the taxpayers will never know what the cost of rubbish pickup was. And for you voters, you took office to protect the city and the residents. You did not do that. Shame on you. I can't believe the city has no ordinance, rules, regulations, something to protect the taxpayers. And for you to no vote, bet you don't run your own household like this. And if you did, if you run a company of any size, only a mouse would be there believing the building because the employees would be on the unemployment office. Also, the taxpayers at home, on your computer, on your cell phones, watching TV, remember the city asked for another vote, tax money. Remember, the city does not need money. Good evening, and thank you for bringing that up. That means it didn't go unnoticed.
Thank you, Mr. Baldwin.
Good evening.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
That's all we have this evening.
That's it? Okay. Next, we'll move on to Council Communication Committee reports. Mrs. Stauffer.
All right. So the ARB met on November 18th. There were 4 cases on the agenda. Case 211181 at 9314 Heron Lane, a deck with a shed-style roof was approved. 8941 Wilcox Drive, Burgers De Beer sign review, and that was also approved. 9667 Shepherd Road, in addition to an existing garage.
Excuse me. Mr. Baldwin, we can't hear up here. Thank you.
Was approved. And then the final case, 1531 Bridget Lane, a new home by Koblenz Homes, was also approved with a few notes on them. I also attended the CIC meeting earlier on the 18th as well. I'm sure Mayor will probably talk about the CIC meeting. Okay. And then I attended the JEDI meeting last night for the police, and actually we went through some of the statistics that was done on past police activity and arrests in the city, and it was really interesting. I think they're making some progress on some things they want to do. I'll be sorry to not be part of that committee any longer, because I think they're doing a great job. And that is all I have from the committees.
Okay, thank you. Next, we will go to Mrs. Walker.
Good evening, everyone. I missed the JEDI meeting yesterday. You know, I was unavailable, I'll just put it like that. And I'm working with the resident that is in my ward, and I just want to give you a little bit of information of some of the things that council does outside of our reports and our meetings that we go to. And there's this resident, it's regarding a house in my ward, and it's regarding a structure, something that should not have been done. And the resident called me, I think it was Friday and or Saturday, and then I talked with him yesterday and today, and I was really working with him on a lot of things. And I contacted the building department, and I just have to say that we have probably the best employees working in the building department. I talked with Keith, I talked with Jason. They were right on it. They told me we're gonna do this, we'll follow up on you. They follow up with me on the information that they were going to get. I talked to the resident about it, and he was so pleased to hear that someone is listening to him. And, but I just want you to know that even though I am a part of some of these committees here, I don't have a committee report, but I can report on the residents, and particularly in my ward and any other ward if they want to talk to me about certain things. So all I can say is we help them out, we encourage them, you know, if you have any problems, to give us a call, and we do what we say we're due when we took an oath that we will help and support not only the city of Twinsburg, but the Twinsburg residents also. So if you have any questions, you can call any of us up here. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Mrs. Labby.
Thank you, Sam. I had a golf advisory meeting that was again delayed. They wanted financials, and Sarah is going to put together a financial presentation for them. So that was delayed again. So I have no other meetings that
Okay. Mr. Bellin.
Good evening, thank you. I attended this evening's Finance Committee meeting. I will allow Mr. Scafidi to provide that report. The next meeting of the full JEDI Committee will be on Monday, December 13th at 6 p.m. in Council Chambers. The Board of Zoning Appeals that was scheduled for tomorrow, Wednesday, November 24th, has been canceled due to lack of agenda items. The BZA is next scheduled to meet on Wednesday, December 22nd, 6:30 p.m. here in Council Chambers. Nothing further this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Under my report, the Finance Committee did meet earlier this evening. We went through a few things. Actually, we had the folks here from the Ohio Treasurer's Office talking about the Ohio checkbook. They gave us a presentation, and it was a really good presentation. They had a PowerPoint, and there was some good dialogue questions that we had. And Sarah, thank you for that. And it looks like we're tending to go in that direction. So I think that that's the right way to go. And so I appreciate them coming in. We'll talk about it again when we have a full council here together. After that, then Sarah went through the 2022 Temporary Appropriations with us, and again, a great presentation. She had a good PowerPoint. Sarah, thank you for making it so clear for council to look through each and every item, and you give us copies of the PowerPoint. We're able to follow along, and we do appreciate that. I guess one of the things that I'd like to mention out of that presentation was that our general fund for next year is a balanced budget. So, I congratulate everybody here in the city, the administration, Sarah, and in council as well for the outlook for next year seemed to be pretty good. And so thank you for that. There was quite a few items there, and I won't belabor all of it right now. The next meeting of the Finance Committee will be on the 14th of December at 6:30 right here in the council chambers. The next meeting of council will be December 7th at 7 o'clock. Will be the caucus. 7:30 will be the council meeting. And I'd like to take this moment right now to just wish Maureen Stauffer a really, really good retirement from council. Maureen, it's been great working with you for the last 12 years. We've had a lot of fun, and we've had a lot of work, and we've had a lot of disagreements as well. But that's the way individual people, work out. And we've always been able to work through it, but at the end of the day, we always came out as friends. And so, and I appreciate that. We're gonna miss you dearly up here. You brought up your vest that you're wearing, and I do remember that you wore that the first night you were here. You had a little different shirt on. As a matter of fact, I have a picture with you and I, and you were wearing that. You kind of look like a country girl or something. I don't know. You were wearing something underneath there, but yeah, it's all good. And I wish you best of luck with everything. And don't be a stranger. Come back and see us whenever you get time.
I'll come to all the parties.
Yeah, I figured you would. So thank you very much. Other than that, that's the end of my report. So we'll move on to the mayor's report.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Some things going on around town. We had our turkey trot. It was a really cold Sunday, last Sunday, but we had a great turnout. We had about 120 runners, and it ended up being kind of a perfect condition for runners. We had a local graduate of Twinsburg High School, Garrett Critchlow, was the overall male winner, who ran a 25:18, and it's a 5-mile run. So if you can do the numbers in your head, running through the woods and up and down hills, that's a pretty quick pace he was keeping. I think he's running stronger now than he was in college. And then we had Jackie Disadora, who won the female side of things. But I just want to thank Parks and Rec. It was a fun event. It's something we do every year, and I know the residents and the surrounding runners really appreciate it. We also had last week our employee appreciation luncheon, something we do several times a year, and this was one we do this time of year is kind of recognizing a lot of our employees and the milestones they've achieved here in the city. Really proud of our employees and the work they do here for the city, and really thankful for everything they do. And yeah, we had, we've got 25, 30-year employees here with the city of Twinsburg, but it's always great to recognize even the 5-year milestones of those that started here at Twinsburg and are continuing to serve our community. But I want to thank Shannon and Angel and Sandy and Tanita that helped put that on, and Michael for his work. And it's always a fun event. We also we did have our CIC meeting the other night, and our CIC has been really focused on our downtown redevelopment, and a lot of the talk was regarding that. And again, we have went through a selection process. We have a developer selected for the downtown area, continuing to work with that developer and trying to keep the project moving forward. The city is also doing work to help facilitate the project, but as we get further in the process and when we start setting up some kind of town hall meetings to kind of discuss what's going to be going on down there, we'll get information out to the residents as we start really looking at the final acquisition of the property, as well as what the proposed development's going to be down there. So, but and those meetings are open to the public, so anyone that would like to attend those. We do have council next week. We have swearing in of 4 council members, so I'd encourage the residents to come to that. It's a ceremonial type meeting we're going to have, and I'll talk about Maureen in a little bit. But we've got 1 brand new person to council, and then 2 incumbents and kind of 1 partial incumbent that will be swearing in. But I encourage everyone to come to that next week. Thanksgiving's coming up, and I just want to wish everyone just really a happy Thanksgiving. Take this time to really spend time with your family and try to find something that you can kind of give back to the community or give back to people that are in need. We were fortunate enough to participate, today's Tuesday, last night, in a basket donation to Faith United Methodist. I'm part of Rotary and also part of my church. My church does about 1,500 baskets to feed. Really, each basket feeds about 10 people. So if you do the numbers, it's about 15,000 people in this area we help feed. And through Rotary, I was able to pick up 60 of those baskets and deliver it to Faith United Methodist. 11 of them, they needed about 49 of them, and 11 of them we personally delivered to families around here. But hopefully next year we can try to do something within our community that will help be a bigger part of that. But I encourage everyone to just to try to find something where you can kind of give back and do it individually or as a family. I think we're all called to serve, so it's something that we all should try to do. And then lastly, just a couple of events coming up as we move into the Christmas holiday. We have Light the Night, which is next Monday, the 29th, from 6 to 8. And it's celebrating Hanukkah, and you don't necessarily have to be Jewish to come. We have a lot of people that aren't Jewish. The food's really good, so I encourage you. And it's at the community center up behind the pool. And then on December 4th, we've got Luminosity, which is our lighting of City Hall, and then we'll march down the square and we'll light up the square. We also have a parade that's part of that this year, and it's always a big event, a very fun event, so I encourage everyone to attend that. And lastly, I want to thank Maureen for all her time here serving as City Council. I can remember years ago, back in 2009, when she was campaigning the first time. I remember driving through some neighborhoods and seeing like all these, just like, I think there were red shirts everywhere, just red shirts everywhere. And I was like, what's going on? And then I caught someone, and it was, her campaign team, which was a huge team at that time. And that election was a really pivotal election for the city of Twinsburg. We had a change happen. We had Maureen come on. We had Seth, who's in the audience here tonight, come on. We had some other council changes that created the open seat in my ward, which I was blessed to be able to become part of council that same year. That I really think kind of changed council and the direction of council, and a lot of different things that really started pushing us into a really kind of positive direction. And Maureen has played a huge part of that back in 2009 and every year since then, with the work she's done. And as I think everyone said, we may not always agree on things, but we do hug it out at the end, and we understand each other's role, and that's what makes this system work, is the fact that we don't agree on everything. And she has challenged me in a lot of things that I've tried to do over the last 6 years as mayor. She challenged me when I was on council with her. But at the end of the day, I think we still share a love and a passion for the city, and she's always had that. And so I know, whatever she put her foot down that she was adamant for is because of her love and her passion for the city of Twinsburg and its residents, and wanting to see really just, this community thrive, a community that she's grown up in, continue to thrive. And so you will be truly missed, and I just wish you the best, and I know we'll always stay in touch, and we'll pass each other at parties. And
Yes.
hopefully I still get the invite to the Christmas party.
Of course.
I know we really appreciate all that you've done for the city.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you
and
so
that
much.
is all I have this evening, and I think I have one department head report.
Good evening, council. November 2021 income tax revenues, we are up 13% over last year. We collected 1.66 million versus last year we were at 1.46. So year to date, we are up just under 8%, or $1.57 million. I do expect that to level off. We have some big refunds coming out next month, but I do expect us to hit our budgeted income tax revenues, so that's good news. The October books are closed, and the financials are out there on the website for anybody who wants to go take a look. 2022 temporary appropriations, as Mr. Scafidi discussed, are on first reading tonight. We presented and talked about them tonight. Over in finance, we have done a lot of VIP training sessions. That's our accounting software. We've run around to the different departments, and those have really gone great. On the information technology side of things, you may see some folks walking through the buildings. We are doing that upgrade that we had talked about from Johnson Controls to Redshift, so that's happening. We're excited about that. And we are getting some pricing on that council chambers technology and the sign out front. So we're still working on that stuff, and we'll bring that to you as soon as we have more information. And then I just wanted to say thanks to Maureen. You were on my first finance committee, I'm pretty sure, when I got here, and you were very kind to me, being a baby finance director, and I really appreciate that. Us department heads, when we have folks that reach out to check in on us, it means a lot, and we'll miss you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'll miss you.
And happy Thanksgiving.
That's it? That's all you have? Okay. Next, we'll move on to legislation. We have ordinance 84-2021.
An ordinance amending Chapter 1321 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Twinsburg regarding enforcement, Architectural Review Board.
This time, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt ordinance 84, 2021. May I have a second?
I second.
Mrs. Walker seconds. Any discussion? Shannon, call the roll.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Bellin?
Yes.
Mrs. Labby?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 84, 2021 passes 5-0. Ordinance 88, 2021.
The temporary appropriation ordinance for 2022 approved by council from estimates submitted by the mayor providing for the ordinary expenses and other necessary expenses of the city of Twinsburg, Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022.
Okay, and that's its first reading. Ordinance 89, 2021.
An ordinance amending section 147 of the codified ordinances of the city of Twinsburg regarding employees generally.
That also stands on its first reading. Ordinance 90, 2021.
An ordinance amending Chapter 111 of the codified ordinances of the city of Twinsburg regarding council representatives and declaring an emergency.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules and place ordinance 90, 2021 on its third and final reading and declare it an emergency. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Mrs. Stoffer seconds. Reason for the emergency is so that it'll take effect for the upcoming committee assignments that we'll be making. Any discussion? Shannon, call the roll.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Mr. Bellin?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mrs. Labby?
Yes.
Okay, next I make a motion to adopt ordinance 90, 2021 as an emergency. May I have a second?
I'll second. Yep.
Mrs. Stoffer seconds. Any discussion? Shannon, call the roll.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Mrs. Labby?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Bellin?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 90, 2021 passes 5-0. Unfinished new business and miscellaneous. Mr. Bellin.
Yes, thank you. Mrs. Stoffer, it has been an honor and a privilege to serve with you these past 4 years that I've been on council. I won't go into a bunch of stories because I think it's been made very clear in what high regards everybody holds you in. I just wanted to echo those sentiments, say congratulations, and thank you for your service. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Nothing further. Thank you.
Okay. Mrs. Stoffer. Well, I'll let you go last. Mrs. Walker.
Thank you. I just want to say that Maureen and I and her brother Steve, we go back a long ways. Great family, great family. Her brother was my son's principal when he was in 6th grade, and now he's almost 38 years old, and he talks about your brother a lot, so he really had a positive influence on my son, which is what the Stoffer family, the Marlowe family does. And I just want to say that the best is yet to be. And so I just want you to know that your next stage in life, your path is going to be totally different. And just enjoy the ride. That's all I can say. Much love to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Mrs. Labby.
Maureen was my son's. I can't do it. I love you, Maureen. Don't leave me. You're going to do just great.
Is that it, Karen? Okay. Sure. All right, here we go, Mrs. Stoffer.
Well, you know how much I like to speak. I know them quite. I just want to start off by Mrs. Clark. Thank you so much. This means so much to me. I do appreciate everything that you said, and all of you, everything you guys have said. I just am overwhelmed with this feeling. I wanted to just be sure to thank the residents for their faith in me. For the last 12 years. It's really humbling, and it was such an honor to serve, and it has been, every time I come here and I get to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and I think I do this twice a day. I get to do this every Tuesday, 2 times, and I'm just very proud and humbled by by all of it. The employees are just everything that you said, Daisy, earlier. They're incredible.
We are so fortunate to live in the city and to have the people working here in the city. I'm just so grateful to them. Our department heads, I mean, I've been saying that since I started. They work tirelessly for this community, and Sarah and David, all of you, I just appreciate it so much. I really do, and I should have said it more often all these years. David, I mean, you've become a friend, and you're just a great asset to the city. You're just amazing. And Ted, of course, a lifelong friend for a long time, and I know your passion for this city means a lot, and you're going to do great things, and you've done great things, and we appreciate that. I appreciate it so much. And of course, my colleagues, my council friends, Greg, you inspire me. I want to learn to speak like you someday. And Daisy, you have the biggest heart of anyone I know. So I appreciate what you do and how much you care about the residents as well. And Sam, I don't know. We're going to be friends a long time, but yeah, we have had a lot of laughs, and I do appreciate the leadership and your expertise and just your wealth of knowledge when it comes to the things that I really appreciate that. And Karen, I know you're going to take care of things here, so I have no doubt about that. Shannon, I don't know what I would have done without your help over these 12 years, and I don't think I ever told you that. But I really do appreciate what you've done. You kind of keep us on the path, keep us on the course, and keep us moving, and I am really grateful for that. And of course, Mark, my forever friend back there. Mark, thank you for everything you do. David, I know you're going to do great. You'll take care of these people and take care of this city. So thank you. And Seth, great memories. So that's all I have. I think I covered it, didn't I? Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Oh, I know we had a lot of arguments with a lot of the people up here. A lot of them were not here on council floor, which is, people are saying, well, she barely talked. I did my share of talking. Bill and Scott also, we had our disagreements at times, but I know that they both really do care about this community in their own way. So I do appreciate all of the people I had a chance to work with. So thank you, and Shannon, whoever did this, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Maureen. And my final comments, I'd just like to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving this Thursday. You and your family, from my family to yours, have a great holiday, and spend time with your families and enjoy it. We'll move on to the mayor. Any final comments? Mr. Maestros.
Thank you. Maureen, not too many elected officials get this send up, you deserve it. I'm glad this worked out this way for you. And it's not really everybody acts like you're retiring. You're not retiring, you're going to be around. But everything that's been said tonight, that you're a class act, that you're dedicated, that you love the city, all that's true. It's been great to work with you. And I agree, we've become friends, and I'll miss seeing you here, but I know I'll see you around. So congratulations, and congratulations on getting this recognition you deserve.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Shannon Collins.
Again, everybody's kind of, I'm the last one, but Ms. Stoffer, thank you.
Last but not least.
Thank you for your dedicated service. As a lifelong resident also, in the passion I see in you for the city is amazing, and I hope that I'm a fraction of it myself, but thank you for your dedication. And also, Josh wanted me to say thank you for being his teacher, and he said that I'm not going to see you every day too.
Sarah, you're done? I did miss saying one thing about Shannon Collins. When they had the employee appreciation last week, Shannon received her 10-year pin, or her 10-year gift for being 10 years as the clerk of council. But her service didn't start there, and hopefully it's not going to end there. But Shannon's been around and serving the city of Twinsburg for 27 years. And you look at her, and it seems like she started when she was a baby, evidently. So, but serving on various commissions, and then she moved on to being part-time employee in various departments. So Shannon's been around a long time, and I said it the other day, and council Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't agree, but I think we all agreed when Shannon was appointed to be the clerk of council. I believe that was a unanimous vote, 7-0, and it's probably one of the best decisions that we made. So Shannon, thank you so much. You deserved what you received last week for your tenure, and we appreciate you, and thanks for keeping this group together, because you certainly have your work cut out for you. Thank you very much. All right, other than that, next I'd like to make a motion to excuse our absent members, Mr. Fury and Mr. Barr. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Bellin seconds. Any discussion? Call the roll, Shannon?
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. Bellin?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mrs. Labby?
Yes.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Okay. Meeting adjourned.